Hello there, my name is Melika O'Garro and I'm a member of Mango Tech. Today we will be presenting the design for the SmartShopper application. We will begin with a brief summary of our process. The SmartShopper application was designed with the intention of providing users with as much information as possible so that they can make informed decisions while grocery shopping in Trinidad and Tobago. During the design process, inspiration was found by observing users through the use of the need-finding technique. Research methods used were surveys, interviews, and observation. These methods were used to gain empathy for users, find extreme users, and to uncover latent needs of users. For example, comparing what persons claim to do while grocery shopping versus what they actually do. A great majority of survey respondents and interviewees indicated that they prefer to do their grocery shopping in person rather than online, and would be willing to use a mobile application to assist with their shopping needs, especially if it would help cut costs. I now turn over to my colleague, Toni-Marie Noel.
Thank you, Melika. When discussing the design problem, one must ask themselves, what is the problem or need, and who has that problem or need? The problem. Grocery shopping can be time-consuming and expensive. Most citizens of Trinidad and Tobago can agree that there is some level of planning involved when making a trip to the grocery. This solution, Smart Shopper by Mango Tech, your grocery shopping assistant. Smart Shopper assists you in your shopping journey from creating your grocery list to placing your order. Next, we will have Jonathan Gray, who will be presenting the stakeholders as well as the research methods for this project.
Thank you, Tony. Our stakeholders included us, the team members, our consumers, and the grocery store owners themselves. The research methods consisted of interviews, surveys, and observations. Interviews allowed the users to express themselves openly and in a non-restrictive or contrived way. This allowed the researcher to gain insight into the interviewee's opinions, behavior, and experiences to tailor an interface that would best suit their needs. To carry out this method, interview questions asked consisted of a mixture of pre-written questions and improvised questions. The responses were collected using a regular text editor. Major findings included 1. In the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, grocery shopping is considered a social activity. 2. Multiple candidates communicated that they despised waiting in line. 3. Some candidates stated that they preferred shopping in person so that they can inspect the condition and expiration dates of products. And lastly, 4. Inspecting items is an important aspect of on-premise grocery shopping. Another research method included surveys, which allowed the researchers to gain impactful insight using structured questions. The responses were easily collated to quickly generate graphs and tables which showed the results gathered. To carry out this method, a series of open and closed-ended questions were created on Microsoft Forms. The link to the survey was shared to respondents that fit the description of our target audience, and the results were automatically collected and analyzed. When asked how a list would be beneficial, the top answers recorded were 1. It helps shoppers stay within budget. 2. It helps shoppers in remembering what they needed. 3. Helps in saving time. And 4. It was also found that females tend to do more grocery shopping than men. Lastly, observations provided insights by watching the actions, behaviors, or communication patterns of a group without the knowledge of those being observed. Thus, this method provided a more natural understanding of shopper phenomena. The method was as follows. A family member or friend was accompanied while making a trip to a grocery store. Their behaviors were closely monitored, notes were taken, and the results were analyzed and conclusions were drawn. The major findings for this method included 1. Many consumers had similar buying patterns. That is,
Some consumers did quick shopping for a few common goods like eggs and bread, then immediately proceeded to check out. And two, consumers seemed agitated when there were long lines. Next, I'd like to introduce you to my colleague Ryan Harris, who will discuss the design and justification.
Good day, my name is Ryan Harris, and today we'll be talking about the design and justification of the SmartShopper app. This is the reasoning behind the decisions we made when it came to the design of the application. Firstly, we'll talk about the homepage. The homepage gives you a grid of tiles that could be changed by the user. Usually, it reflects frequently bought items, but by default, it's set to items that are frequently on demand by the customer based on the whole. There's a header at the top of each page that gives the name of the page that it's on, along with the profile icon, which gives you your drop down menu of settings and profile options, along with the cart, which we'll get to later. Then there's also the footer, the navigation bar at the bottom of the page that gives you access to the home page, the deals page, the search page, and the list page. Moving on, we have the search page. The search page gives information on the items that's been searched, such as a picture, the name of the item, and some descriptor that helps you tell it apart from other items like it, whether it be by size or by flavor. Then after this, we have the list page, which show could be in two different views, which is the by store and by item. For now, we'll be talking about the showing list by store. This shows the list by um, this shows the list by different stores ordered by the availability of all the items of the list, and then ordered by the total price of the entire list. The By clicking on one of the stores, it takes you to another menu which you can choose which items you would like to add to the cart from this store. Moving on, we'll talk about listing by item. Lists could be shown by items, and this shows the item along with its information and the number of locations that can be that item can be found in. It then takes you to the map page, which you can choose which location you would like to buy the specific item from. It gives you the price of the item along with a bit of information on that store, such as the opening hours and the contact information. Finally, we have the checkout page. This shows all the items in the cart along with a total price. This allows the user to backtrack and make sure that they aren't overspending their budget. There are also two buttons that allow you to choose your method of collection, whether it be by delivery or by pickup. Finally, we have the deals page, which sadly was not able to be implemented to our prototype's use case due to time constraints. However, these are some of the designs we had in place, where you'd be able to choose whichever store you'd like to see the deals from, whether it be a favorite store of yours, and it would show you all the deals based on whichever category it's in. Now we'll move on to the heuristic evaluation from my colleague Toni-Marie Noel.
Thank you, Ryan. We adopted Jacob Nielsen's 10 heuristics to conduct this evaluation. However, the violations that had the highest severity ratings would be highlighted now. The first one is visibility of system status. These items on the home screen are unclickable. The second is the match between system and real world. There are no titles for the menu icons on this bar below, so users may be confused about this one in particular, which is our deals page. The third heuristic violated was user control and freedom. So when you go to the cart, in particular here, you won't be able to remove an item once it's added to the cart. And you won't be able to cancel an order once it's placed. So, for example, when I go to the list and I select Price Smart and I add it to my cart, right? I select delivery, it takes me straight to this page. So I'm unable to cancel this order. It's final. The fourth one would be error prevention. In terms of the search bar, it's prone to errors in that if I type ketchup in a different way, let's say ketchup, our system may not, it would not account for that error and may display incorrect results or no results at all. And finally, there's no help option for users. So if you get lost anywhere in this app, um, it's up to you to figure it out. Next, we'll have Andrei with prototype optimization.
Good day everyone, and thank you for the introduction, Toni-Marie. So today I'll be talking about feature prototype optimization, also known as recommendations for the next iteration of design. So the heuristic evaluation was used as a guide for future design conclusions. The heuristic evaluation highlighted many design flaws of the prototype. The majority of them were minor issues which will not be considered, however the most severe ones will receive attention. Some of these include a missing header on some pages, which will be fixed by adding a header to each page. Unclickable icons will be made functional, as responsibility is a very important aspect of prototypes. Another important issue to fix is that users can't remove items from their lists or cart or cancel orders. Functionality for these three issues will be included. An error in saving users' lists was also identified and will be patched in the following iteration. Indicators are important to users. This point was further highlighted to us by the heuristic analysis. It is certainly a possibility that users want to be able to see how many items their list or cart contains without having to click on them, since this is a typical feature of other shopping applications. Thus, it was decided that this should be implemented for familiarity amongst users. Some users also indicated that they were not familiar with some icons that were used in the menu. For example, the list icon can be misinterpreted. A simple fix would be to include the name of the page right below the icon. And lastly, it is important that any application has a help page to assist users in resolving issues that they may encounter. This will be implemented in the following iteration of the prototype.